Stephanie, I missed you last week. You got out of here before it got to you.
Yeah.
What's up?
Okay, what is up is we are learning more and more about the Citizens United ruling. That is the Supreme Court ruling that basically opened the floodgates to money in politics. And what we've learned in recent weeks is that it not only allows billionaires to buy elections, but it also allows employers to tell their employees how to vote. They can send out emails and they can suggest ways to vote that might save their job. For example, they can say that Obama's policies will threaten their job, and so this is really, I can't think of this is the second Gilded Age really, where we have totally yielded power to corporations and large businesses. And I think the most threatening thing right now to our democracy, I have come to realize, is the Citizen United case, and we really need to move to amend it. In other words, get a constitutional amendment to take that off the books, and because if we let it go forward, I think it really is going to result in basically turning over our democracy to corporations.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Professor Davis, word of the week.
I want to say how dismayed I am at the Chronicle's editorial endorsement of Romney on Sunday. It's like they made a cynical business decision that Romney's going to carry Texas. We all understand that. We've got circulation issues. Let's just make the best of it. Let's assign it to one of our guys to do some kind of a hack piece to make the best case for Romney. And then to say the Romney we're endorsing is the moderate Romney who governed Massachusetts several years ago. It's just so ludicrous, because that's not the Mitt Romney who's running this campaign. You know, we have one daily newspaper, and it's a pretty good newspaper in this town, but this is a time when I wish we had competition in the newspaper industry, because this would be the moment to call in and say, I'm canceling my subscription, I'm going to take somebody else's paper instead. Shame on the Houston Chronicle. They endorsed Obama last time, they should have done it this time. To reward the Republicans for their obstructionism and the like by turning around and endorsing their nominee, saying Obama didn't get it all done, is just absolutely unacceptable. That's my take for the week.
Now, Dr. Davis, would you recommend to everybody listening to this that they send a letter to the editor in that respect?
Absolutely, because I think they listen to the constituents to some degree. If it's about business, then our business is important too. So yeah, the voice of the people very important in this respect. I wrote a letter last time to thank them for their editorial endorsement in 08. I ought to do one this time to condemn them for what they did this time.
Thank you very much, Professor.
You're welcome.
Dr. Tice, word of the week, continued message.
Okay, today I wanted to talk about economic policy. There's a very good, well, let me put it this way. We got the Republican candidate running around saying he's going to create jobs by cutting taxes. This is a complete and total myth. It doesn't work. And the Democratic candidate is not fighting it much, although he says he's not going to cut taxes on the wealthy. There's a recent Economics blog by Laura and DeAndrea Tyson, who was a Democrat who worked for Bill Clinton, and Owen Zidar, who worked for Bain and is now a graduate student at Berkeley. They did an extensive analysis of tax cuts and economic growth or job creation. They found there was no relationship between cutting taxes on the wealthy and getting economic growth. None. In fact, there was a slight relationship between cutting taxes on the bottom 95% and getting economic growth. Because as we all know, the bottom 90% have a higher marginal propensity to spend. The top 1% aren't going to be spending any of that extra money. The other problem is, when you have low tax rates on the wealthy, you get much higher levels of income inequality. The United States today has a Gini coefficient of about 47. 0 is perfect equality, 100 is perfect inequality. Mexico has a Gini coefficient of 48. Rwanda has a Gini coefficient of 48. Uganda has a Gini coefficient of 46. These are the countries we are like. South Korea, where I grew up, has a Gini coefficient of 38. Most European democracies have Gini coefficients of 35 or less. We have become a more unequal society precisely because we keep cutting taxes on the wealthy. It's not working for 95% of Americans. And if you believe that cutting taxes will help you, go ahead, go vote for Mitt Romney. I don't really care. But if you look at the facts, in the 1950s and 1960s, when tax rates on the wealthy ranged between 90 and 70%, we had huge economic growth. As we have cut taxes from the 80s on, wealth has predominantly trickled up. This is exactly what it was intended to do. If tax cuts created jobs, we should be drowning in jobs. Yet, most ordinary Americans are scared. Many have job insecurity, and we've got to do something about this. Neither party is talking about changing this dynamic.
Thank you very much, Dr. Theis.
Thank you.
Kev, message of the week.
Yeah, I did.
Well, we've now passed 4 presidential debates between the 2 major parties, and I have to say, for these 2 candidates, I think it pointed out to me major disappointments for really both of them. We have President Obama with his continued drone attacks, continued involvement in Afghanistan. Both of those counts, we need to move out. We need to stop the drone attacks. We're killing innocent people, and we need to pull our troops out, use that money more wisely at home, or better yet, 36% unemployment in Afghanistan, people starving through the winter months there. Why not use that money to help pay for those people to eat? Possibly develop their economy somehow. Beyond that, to me, I think President Obama won the debate from a logical and a rational standpoint, but to me, unfortunately, both of those candidates pointed out to me a weak foreign policy, a policy that is not just and is not right. And I hate to end on that kind of sour note for the president, but I think he needs to improve in that area in his next term. So I would, my last words would be, I think people should vote their conscience, and whatever that may be. And we need to bring down our spending on defense and start looking at what we're spending our money on and killing massive amounts of people unnecessarily.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Appreciate it. Senor Roberts, talk to me.
This is the voting, or this year we're voting for a presidential election. We're voting for Congress. I urge each of you to go out and vote, but I urge each of you to vote your conscience. Vote for something you believe in, not against something you're afraid of. Voting against our fears has brought about everything we've feared. So vote your conscience, vote green.
Thank you very much.